All right, guys. So we are live. Let me go ahead and get my camera on again. All right. I think you guys should be able to see me right now. Can everyone see me? Do you guys see me clearly, or is it too dark? Let me know so everyone knows to get that light. So we are recording right now. So I know that there's some folks who indicated that they genuinely can't make it. So we're going to record for them. Everyone hear me loud and clearly? Everyone seeing me clearly as well? Everything's coming through good? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, coach.
All right, good stuff. All right, so thanks to you guys for coming on. I guess as more persons come on, they'll catch up. But so last week, if you guys were on the training that we would have done last week, it was, I think, we did a leadership training as well, and I said that one of the things I wanted to do was to have a day that was devoted to training. All right, pretty much all the other days are devoted to, live sessions or opportunity calls. So I think it's important that we have a day for training specifically to make sure that everyone always is renewed, their minds are renewed, and their way of thinking is renewed as well. Okay, you go through a whole week, especially if you're at work, you're dealing with a lot of negativity. So it's important to have at least that one day that you get to renew your mind or refresh your mind and get the right things put back into your head and kind of recharge you, so to speak. All right. So the way that I want to do this today, guys, is quite interactive. Okay, quite interactive. So there may be times where you guys may just feel to stop me on my tracks, ask a question, or ask me to repeat something. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. This is not a presentation per se. This is more of a discussion. But I'm just going to be imparting some information to you guys that has helped me over the last 20 years in this industry. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been pretty successful with it. For those who don't know my story, I've been involved in network marketing for 20 years now. And 20 years now. And I've been a full-time networker for the last 11 years, right? So obviously, I had to be doing some things right to be able to stay in this industry, industry that some persons may say is very difficult or hard to stay in or to build or to maintain. I've been able to do that for a very long time. So I just want to share with you guys some of the things that I think are absolutely necessary and important that you need to understand if you're to have the right mindset and abilities to be in this industry and be successful. So I wanted to purposely call this the nuts and bolts leadership training because, when you think of nuts and bolts, you think of right down to the absolute basic fundamentals of what you're doing. When you're looking at anything, any mechanical feat of engineering, right down to the very, very basic of that, you'll have to see the nuts and the bolts. So I just thought it was a pretty appropriate name, all right? Nuts and bolts training. So we're going to break it right down. Feel free to ask questions, whether you type them or whether you want to use your mic. Raise your hand just so it wouldn't be, confusion. And I'll be more than happy to unmute your mic and you can ask your question, right? The whole purpose of this is to bring clarity. And again, if you're not sure about something, ask a question. That is what training is for, right? There's no guess here really. It's just for you to understand everything. So let me get right into it. Let's get into our first aspect, our first slide of our nuts and bolts training. So the first thing I want to focus on, guys, that I do believe you have to be very certain about is your why. All right, you have to be able to define your why. And by the way, guys, I do hope you're here, you're ready to take notes. I didn't specify you need to do that, but I just figured that would be expected. So it's training. All right, so if you can take notes, please do take notes. All right, so certain points that we want to touch on. So first thing again is your why. You have to define your why, and after you've defined your why, then you're able to, or you should be able to help other persons to define theirs. All right, so what is so important about the why? Your why is the reason why you're going to stay in this business or this opportunity. Your why is the reason why you're going to keep pushing even when it gets tough, even when it gets very, very difficult, even when it seems even impossible, even when you start to face a lot of negativity and a lot of rejection, a lot of obstacles and adversity. Your why is that one thing that's going to make you keep on going. all right? It has to inspire you. It has to be something that you're passionate about, something that fires you up, all right? Because if your why doesn't do that, then how do you expect other persons to get excited and be fired up about this as well? Yeah, you see? So here's the thing. When you think about your why, I want you to think about this. Your why has to be connected to something that is emotional. All right. Now, you guys who were on the last leadership training, remember that I touched on this before. Your why has to be something that is emotionally connected to you. And the reason for that is, as human beings, we are emotional beings, and most of the decisions that we make are emotional. Some are compulsive, but even so, when you have compulsive decisions that are made, it's generally out of emotion. Yeah. So if you understand that, then you have to realize that the reason that you're going to do this, the reason you're going to stick in it, even when it gets rough, has to be tied to something that is so strong, so means so much to you that quitting doesn't even cross your mind. You guys understand what I'm saying? Quitting doesn't even become an option for you because your reason, it has an emotional connection to why you're doing this. I'll give you a perfect example of a good emotional connection. Your children or your family, all right? Maybe you've been in a situation where you've been, without any kind of money. Where can you get the light for me? It's really dark for me. Right, where you've been in a situation where perhaps you've been without money, without finances, things are probably really, really tight for you. And you've made a vow to yourself, you know what, I never ever want to go back to that place. Is there anyone in the room right now who can relate to that, who's been in a place where it was so bad that as you do this business, you say to yourself that you never ever want to go back to that place again? Anyone in the room that can relate to that? All right. And I can tell you, it's the same thing for me. Don't think that I've had it all good, all flowers and roses for the past 11 years or 20 years I've been doing this. I remember there was a time where I was building my business, and this was after I had left my full-time job, and things were going really, really good, like really, really good. I was making a really good amount of money in my networking business. I was excited about it. Things were going fantastic. People were signing up. I was selling a lot of product. I was in a product-oriented business back then. But then there came a time where things slowed down tremendously. And I remember, I'll never forget, there was more than one day where I left home. And at that time, back in Barbados, the bus fare, that was before I was driving or I had a vehicle or anything. So I would catch the bus. And I remember the bus fare was $1.50, right? $1.50. And I remember I only had just enough, just $1.50 to leave home. I didn't have enough to get back, right? And I said to myself, I don't know how this is gonna work, but I had meetings booked. I had this fold up whiteboard that I had bought back in Puerto Rico when I went to a convention before. It was this foldable whiteboard. I had my markers and everything, had my bag. And when I go out, I was dressed like, yo, you would swear I was an insurance agent. A lot of people thought I was, right? I was dressed, tie, everything. I was moving, I was sharp. I getting on the bus with my board over my back because it had like a strap, and my bag and everything with my papers, my files, my products and everything were in there that I could sell. And that's how I was moving. Now here it is. You saw me, you're like, damn, that guy is doing good. He is successful, right? I just looked that way. But let me tell you, I was broke. You see, business has a certain period of time where, you're going really, really good, but you got to understand business is not just a straight line. There are times when things will slow down, and you've got to have the right mindset and it's a certain level of belief and conviction and commitment that when it gets to that stage that you're still able to push through the pain, all right, and achieve your goals. So no one knew that I had no money at that point in time, but I pushed. And every single time I went out there with a conviction that no matter what, I'm going to sell enough product that I can make money. And I would leave home with no money, and every day I would come back home with money. Every single day I was on the road. Every single day, catching bus, hardly have any money, just enough to buy a little lunch sometimes, keep going. And I'm at my presentation, I'm doing my presentation, I'm selling my product, I'm doing my thing. Why? Because my why was big enough. I made up my mind, guys, that no matter what, I will be successful, that no matter what, I'm gonna make it, and nobody could tell me anything different. People would laugh. People would say, man, you know, look at you, you still catching bus. If you were so successful, you'd be driving by now. And they didn't know, right? But my belief was stronger than that. My why was strong enough, you know, until I was able to buy my vehicle cash. I had my apartment, you know, and I was just doing my thing, have my meetings. I had money to do what I want, buy what I want, travel where I want. But people who didn't know would have seen the struggle. So, you know, I just really wanted to start with this, that make sure that your why is strong. Your conviction is strong, because as you start to do this business of Epic, all right, you have to understand that as you go there, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to try to tell you that you're wasting time. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to try to tell you that you're dumb for doing this. They're going to tell you that you're wasting your money. They're going to tell you it's a scam. They're going to tell you it's a scheme. They're going to tell you don't do it. They're going to just be outright negative. Some people will just be outright nasty. Guys, you've got to have a strong enough belief system within yourself, and you've got to have the right support system around you as well. All right. So does everybody understand that? Everybody understand why it's so important to have their why? If you understand that, that makes sense to you. Type I know my why. Type I know my why. If you guys understand the importance of having a strong enough why, trust me, it's going to be that thing that is going to pull you out of the darkness when you start to get demotivated, when you feel like your team isn't working, when you feel like you're losing at your trading, you're not getting the results that you want to get, you know, and you're going to get frustrated. I promise you, there's going to come that time where you're going to feel frustrated. Your why has to be strong enough, all right? So we're going to start there with that. I know my why. Define it, guys. Define it and hold on to it, all right? And attach it to something emotional. The next thing that I want to touch on very quickly is goals, okay? Now, when it comes to setting goals, a couple of things about setting goals. I want you to set SMART goals. Now, when I say SMART goals, that I have that as an acronym. SMART goal, we're going to go through each of these. Now, the first thing in SMART goals is, one, you want to be specific, okay? You want to be specific with your goals. You can't just say, okay, yeah, I want to be rich. Yeah, I want to make a lot of money. No. How much money would you like to make? Right? Like, be specific. It's like a woman praying to God for a husband. She might get it, but then the husband is an idiot, right? And a drunkard and an abuser. Well, you weren't specific, right? You just said you wanted a husband. You got that. So you got to be specific in the things that you ask for. You got to understand, you know, whether you want to say God, whether you want to see the universe, however you look at it, however you want to see it. But the reality is that whatever entity you're praying to, whatever you're pulling your source of energy from, whatever you choose to call it, because everybody has their own beliefs, all right? Be specific in what you want to ask for. This is why I tell persons, don't speak about things unless you want them to keep happening to you. And this is why you guys would hear me say, if you're going to talk about stuff that you want. Don't talk about your struggles. Don't talk about how hard life is. Don't talk about how things are not working out, because the more you talk about these things, the more you attract these things into your life experience. Start to focus only and specifically on what you want to attract to you. Let me tell you something. Every single morning, myself and my lady, we get up in bed, and every single morning we read affirmations together. Every single morning, before we get out of bed, before we do anything, we have like 4 different sets, all right, of affirmations, and some of them we read like 3 times. So we repeat the same thing 3 times. For each item, we repeat it 3 times. The first one, we look at it, we read it. The second one, we close our eyes and we look away, and we say it internally. Yeah? Every single morning we do this. So you gotta be specific about the things that you want to attract to yourself and your goals, all right? Okay, good. The next thing in terms of your goals, you want to be measurable. Now, what do I mean by measurable? It means that you have to give yourself a time, set goals that you know are realistic. Yes, but we're going to get to realistic. But at the same time, can you measure your goals? Like, don't just say, I want to make $1 million. Like, first of all, most persons can't even fathom getting to $10,000 per month, far less $1 million. They can get there, but you have to set goals that in your mind are measurable, because if you're saying it, but in the back of your head, you're still kind of like, I'm saying that because it sounds good, because everybody else is saying I want to make $1 million. No, you gotta say in a way that you believe that is measurable to you, is realistic to you, and you can achieve that. Which brings us straight into our third acronym, A. Set achievable goals, guys. All right. So you got to be specific. All right. You got to be specific. They have to be measurable goals. All right. They have to be achievable. Now, here's the thing. If you know that based on the action you're putting in every single day, that you know that you're not putting the action required to reach $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, even $10,000 a month, then when you set your goal, you write that down, you put it there, I'm going to make $100,000 a month within the next 90 days. Well, is that really achievable? Well, here's the thing. It could be achievable, but based on your actions, it's not. Here's a question I want everyone to ask themselves. All right, listen carefully. Would you wish to refer or recruit? I don't like to use the word recruit, but would you wish to sponsor or enroll a team that was doing exactly what you are doing right now? And by that I mean this: think about what you are doing. Think about the amount of effort and energy and attention that you are putting into your business every single day. All right. You see, you can tell people whatever you like. You can say, hey, coach, I really want this. I'm putting my all into this. I'm really working at this. You can tell me whatever you like, but you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to me. I mean, I can't see you doing everything you're doing every day, but you can't lie to yourself. You know what you're actually doing. So the question really is, would you be successful if you had a team full of people like yourself? That's a question I really want everyone to leave here thinking. Would you really be successful if you had a team who was doing all of what you are currently doing on a daily basis to build your business? And the fact is this: if you even have to think about that, then you know you're not doing enough. All right? If you have to think about that question, am I really doing enough? If I had 10 people doing what I do every day, would my team be exploding right now? Or would my team still be just kind of moving, one today, one probably a few days? This is a serious question to ask yourself, guys. The next one, of course, is realistic, which kind of ties in closely with achievable. Are your goals realistic? Are they? Everybody should have their goals written down. Yes, you have them in your head, but do you have them written down? People take this stuff for granted, but you don't understand that there's so much power in writing these things that you want down. In literally taking it from here, all right, from the mental and bringing it into the physical. Guys, you have to understand that things like the law of attraction are very real. You have to understand that things that the law of proximity is very real, all right? So the things that you think, being that thoughts become things. If you watch The Secret, you know this is true. Being that thoughts become things because everything around you is a manifestation of someone's thought, all right? Something that someone else thought before, but they brought those thoughts into reality. Then you have to start taking what you have in your thoughts and writing it down, bringing it into reality. It's only when you take that action of taking your thoughts, your goals, your of what you want, and you putting it on paper, giving yourself that visual that you can see it, that you will realize things start to adjust and amend for you. And sometimes you don't even realize when it happens, to be quite honest, because you're so into it that you don't even realize when it happens sometimes. You just kind of look back, you're like, wait a minute, yo, you know what? I remember a year ago, I actually said I wanted to do, you see what I'm saying? Or you're like, wait a minute, I remember saying that I wish I could have such. And it just happens, and it just kind of hits you at some point, like, this is what you wanted. You see, because you brought what you want. You brought what you want from just the mental, just the psychological aspect into the physical, okay, guys? Thoughts become things. So you need to set your goals. You need to be measurable. You need to have achievable goals. You need to have realistic goals as well. And of course, you need to set a timeline on them. This is very, very important. Probably one of the most important points of this. You have to set a timeline. Why is it important to set a timeline? It's important because if you don't have a timeline, then you're not going to push yourself as hard. all right, it has to have some time attached to it. If you say, I want to make $1,000, great. By when? By when? I want to make $10,000 a month. Fine. By when? So make sure you write this down, guys. Have a timeline for your goals. Now, here's the thing. Realistically, there are situations where you may not hit that timeline. You may say, well, okay, this is now September. By December 31st of 2020, my goal is to achieve X amount of dollars. My goal is to be earning X amount of money per month. And if you follow this, if you're specific with the amount you want, it's a measurable goal. It's something that you believe to be achievable based on your actions. So make sure you have that. Your actions, all right, your achievable goals, or your goals must be achievable based on your actions, okay? Your actions will determine how achievable they are. Then it must be realistic, and of course, you must have a time. Don't just say you want to make $10,000 per month. You want to make $10,000 a month by. Write it down. Get a calendar if you have to. Make a note of it. Circle it on that calendar. I will be making 10. And when you're doing this, I want you to speak it or write it in the present tense. Don't say I hope to. Don't say I wish to. Don't say I expect to. When you put it, say I will be. Does everybody get that? I want you to write it as though it is done. All right? In a definitive type of way. It is done. I will be making by, all right? Everybody gets that type of 111 in the chat. If everybody understands so far, everybody understands how to set SMART goals, give me a 111 in the chat real quick, all right? Make sure that your goals are time bound. Make sure that they are locked in with a time frame. Otherwise, you will just be hoping to hit something, and when it happens, all right? When you set a goal, your determination to hit that goal is totally different. You push a lot harder in trying to achieve that, okay? All right, let's move on to our next slide. All right, so one of the things that you got to understand, guys, and especially in this kind of industry, is if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful, all right? This is by Eric Thomas. I love this quote, and this is absolutely true. When you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. It's always interesting to me how persons get started in business and then they will tell you all these great things. Man, I'm going to kill this. Man, I'm ready to do this, and I'm going to get this amount of money. We can make millions. And it just vibes in. Then they talk to 10 people who all tell them no, and they're like, man, I don't know if this is for me. People negative. I can't deal with people in Barbados. Man, people in Barbados, they're not, the mindset ain't there. People in St. Kitts, the mind not there. People in this place and that place. And none of that is true. People are people anywhere you go. It doesn't matter whether you're Caribbean or any part of the world. All right? It's all the same thing everywhere, every island, every country. Right? You don't want a set of people that have a certain mindset and another set of people that have a different mindset. It's all the same. It's all the same. Period. I want you to think of it like this. If you guys have ever watched any of those old westerns, right? Maybe the younger folk might not know this, but some of the older folks, if you're at least 25 years old, perhaps 30 years old, 25, 30, you might know this. There used to be some old westerns that you would watch, and you would see some guys, they'll have the riverbed, right? When they're panning, we call panning for gold. So you would see the guys go down to the riverbed, and they got their pan, right? And they dig in down in the riverbed, and they take that and shimmy it, they shimmy it, and they don't sit there, they shimmy it. You know what they're doing? As they're panning for gold, what happens is as the gold runs from within the earth, or sometimes the waterfalls or the rivers bring up some small nuggets sometimes. So the guys, they're all laying off at the riverbed and they're panning for gold. So here's the thing you got to understand. As you're panning for gold, when they pull that tray up, do they pull a tray full of gold up? No, they don't. They don't. What do they bring up? They bring up dirt. They bring up sand. They bring up silt. They bring up some coal. All right, some lumps of coal sometimes. And then sometimes every now and then they bring up a little gold nugget. Sometimes they just get gold dust. Sometimes just a little gold dust. All right. but they're there. Sometimes they're there for the entire day. Sometimes they're there for the entire week. Every day they're back at that riverbed. They're pining for gold. And what are they doing? Are they bringing up pans of gold? Nope. A lot of dirt, a lot of mud, a lot of water, right? A lot of sand, little bits of gold. What am I getting at? You've got to understand that as you're building your business and you are starting to talk to persons, you're sharing with persons about your opportunity and what it has and the benefits of it. We all know that there are those gold nuggets that are out there. Those people that if you can, everybody thinks they can just, if they can find the right person, that special person, that if they can get this person signed up, their business is going to take off. Man, if I could find 3 people like, you know, my business is going to just explode. So everybody has this belief, if I could just find that special person, that one person. And here's the thing, they forget that before they can find that one person, that little gold nugget, that they have to dig, they have to go through a lot of rocks, they have to go through a lot of dirt, they have to go through a lot of salt, sand, and they're going to take a lot of water up. So you got to understand that if you want it bad enough, you want that gold nugget, you've got to be prepared that every single day you're at the riverbed, you're out there, you're marketing, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on WhatsApp, you're on Telegram, you're talking to your people, you're at work talking, you're on the road talking, you're just sharing information, all right? But you got to go through the rocks. You're going to get a lot more rocks than you're going to get gold nuggets. You got to go through the mud. You got to go through the dirt. You're going to get a lot more of that. But every now and then, there's going to come that time where you get a gold nugget. Now, that one gold nugget may change your life. That one gold nugget may literally transform your business. That one person or those 2 persons, those few persons that you may find. But guys, it is a process, all right? It is not something that it's not just something that happens overnight. It's not something that's just gonna, you know, lay itself out in front of you. It is something that you have to be committed enough. Like it says, you've got to want it as much as you breathe. That's what it comes down to. How bad do you want it? When a person joins the business with me, and then a month later on, they quit because, or they tell me, you know, I think I'm going to drop out because, you know, it's not working out for me. Do you think that I spend hours trying to convince that person to stay? I don't. I've had people who've joined the business and three days later on, they were ready to quit. Sorry, I had someone that joined, and 2 days later on, she was ready to give up because no one responded to her ads, right? Because no one responded to her ads. Now the question is, did I spend a lot of time trying to convince them? No, not a second. You know why? Because if a person is willing to give up that easily, then that is not a person that I can definitely work with long term. I'm not trying to convince you to stay. The problem with a lot of people is you're trying to convince people who are already dead. You're trying to raise the dead. Why are you trying to raise the dead when there's a lot more living that you can approach? Stop trying to raise the dead. A lot of you guys going back to people who were in other opportunities before with you that things didn't work out. Guess what? Those folks are going to just come back with a lot of baggage and a lot of complaints and a lot of excuses. So stop trying to raise the dead. Look for persons who want opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. But it's going to come down to how bad do you want this? At the end of the day, it's not about your sponsor. It's not about your upline nor your downline. It's all about you. If you fail, it's your fault. If you succeed, it's your fault. So somebody type in the group right now, either way, it's my fault. Somebody type that right now. Either way, it's my fault. Because you got to understand this, that if you fail, it's your fault. And if you succeed, it's also your fault. If I fail, it's my fault. Sorry. Either way, sorry, it's my fault. Everyone type that. And you need to understand this because this is what it is. You need to be accountable. And we're going to touch on that as we go on, all right? We're going to touch on that as we go on. So how bad do you really want this? You say you want to change your life. How bad do you really want it? How bad? How much is it worth? Is it worth talking to 10 people? Is it worth talking to 100 people? Is it worth talking to 1,000 people? If it meant that you have to talk to 10,000 people over the next 12 months, 12,000, and out of those 12,000, you had to go through at least 11,000 of them saying no. But out of the 1,000, there was enough people within that 1,000 that got serious enough and they exploded your business and allowed you to reach the rank of epic. You reach $1 million per month, or even $100,000 per month. But you have to go through all of the no's first before you get to that last 1,000 people. Would you not say it's still worth it? Of course you would. You know why? Because you know what the end result is. Because you know ahead of time, yeah, I'm gonna go through the no's because I know I'm gonna get those last 1,000 people, and my business is gonna explode. But here's the problem: nobody can tell the future. You don't know. So the fact that you don't know, you just have to have enough strength and commitment and belief to keep pushing. Even though you don't know, you've got to be willing to go through the darkness if you expect to see the light. That's the only way you get to the end of the tunnel, all right? Everybody wants the testimony, but nobody wants the test. But you've got to go through the test if you expect the money to come. That's when you get your testimony, all right? Here's the next thing I want to tell you guys. You need to stay plugged in. Here's a big problem. A lot of persons are not plugged in. It's crazy. I get a lot of folks asking me questions that they really shouldn't be. If you've been in this business for more than a week, you should not be asking me basic questions like, how do I log in? Where do I find my username? What is my ID number? How do I get onto the Epic News Network? If you're asking me how to get onto the Epic News Network, it means you've not even logged into your account. Where do I find my referral link? It means you have not logged into your account. If you're still asking me, what is the link for the Zoom calls that I do? You've not been paying attention because the link has been the same thing from beginning to right now. All right? Guys, you cannot expect to build a successful business if you are not plugged in. You need to get plugged in and stay plugged in. If you want to build this business to the levels that you allude to, then you have to treat it like a business. You can't expect to treat it like a hobby and make professional income. You can't. You can't. I can tell you right now, I know because I know where I stand, and I can speak for myself. I plan to make professional income in this because I treat my business like a professional. To me, this opportunity is not just something that I just joined. Somebody just introduced me to them, just trying it out. And I'm just giving it a shot, give it a couple of months to see how it works. No, I am all in. I'm sold out. All right. And because of that, I treat my business as such with a certain level of posture. All right. So the income that I'm going to generate, you better believe it's going to be 6 to 7 figures per month. Now, that is not the sound boasting. That is me telling you that my conviction is so high and my belief level is so high that I know what I am going to do because it depends on me and what I do, right? I can't call up my sponsor and say, hey, you better make sure that they make $100,000 a month. I could say to my team, but at the end of the day, me personally, I have to have that personal conviction first, and I need to make sure I'm plugged in. Why? Because how can you lead a team, or how can you expect to lead a team of other persons, other traders, other builders, if you yourself are not plugged in? How? You can't. You can't. If every time someone comes to you and asks you a question and you don't have any response, you don't know what to do, you have to direct them to someone else every single time, then what does that mean for you? What does that say about you? I'll tell you what it says. It says that you're not providing any value. That's what it's saying. It's saying that you are not providing value to your team. All right? So you need to stay plugged in, and you need to make sure your team is plugged in. In other words, the moment that someone joins your business, it is your responsibility as the sponsor, as the person who brought them in, it is your responsibility to make sure that they know at least where to go to find the information. Now, I'm going to get a bit deeper into this when it comes to what really is the role of a sponsor in this business. We're going to touch on that on a different slide, all right? I'm not going to get into that on this slide, but it's your responsibility as a sponsor, if you bring anyone into the business, to make sure that you at least guide them to where the information is that they need to see. Okay, here's where you go. This is where you go to log in. This is where you find your referral link. This is how you find it. This is the Epic News Network. This is here. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? Now, for you guys who are part of Team Abundance, I know there's some folks who may not be in Team Abundance here, that's fine. But for those of you who are in Team Abundance, let me tell you this. If you are paying attention, there's literally in the pinned message that is in the Telegram group that we have, our team group, there's a pinned message that says, just got started, what do I do next? Right? And that's a video by our coach Max where she goes through everything, the back office, the setting up, the trade review, all this stuff. Tell you what to do next. So if anyone doesn't know what to do next, who just got started, is because you haven't guided them there. Now, once you have guided them there, here's where some person may have a problem with this. It is not your responsibility to babysit anyone, but like I said, that's on a different slide. We're going to get into that. Let me touch on some more things. One, there are groups for a reason. There's a Telegram group that we have for the team. We have the Facebook group as well. Why? I created the Facebook group specifically for members who are in the chat, the Telegram chat. As we know, the chat is exciting. People are excited. They're talking. That's fine. That's what the chat is for. Positive energy, sharing information, you know, assisting folks, questions, yada, yada, yada. That is there for that, for positive energy, all right? However, the chat, you can get stuff lost in the chat because there's a lot of conversations. If you're not checking it, there's a lot of conversation. So important information is lost. This is why the Facebook group was created. Everything that is deemed important, I intentionally take it and I post it on our team Facebook page. So if you come back and you see a lot of chat, oh my gosh, 100 messages, I don't have time to go through all of that. You check the Facebook page. Let me see if there's anything recent that I missed that was of importance. All right, that's why the Epic News Network is there as well. You check the news network, is there anything of importance? Okay, so when members come to me with stuff that I know has been posted, I'm not even answering. I'm directing you to where the information is. Oh, that is found in the pin message. Check the Facebook page, that is there. Oh, that's on the Epic News Network. Go check that. Because if you're serious about your business, you need to stay plugged in, period. I'm not making excuses for anyone because at the end of the day, like I said, I treat this as a business, all right? And if you want to have a successful business, you can't be babysitting people. You have to treat it like a business. And when you start to treat it like a business, your team will see that you're treating it like a business, then they will start treating it like a business. If you start playing around with it and treating it like a side thing, that's exactly how they're going to treat it as well, okay? Hope everyone gets that. Now, so we've got the ENN, we've got the signals chat. This is a Forex business, all right? This is a Forex opportunity. You should be in the signals chat, period, all right? I know everybody has their different groups, which is fine. You know, we've got the team group. I know everyone has their own side Telegram groups or WhatsApp group. That is fine. Everybody starts their own thing, has their own groups. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing, one thing about WhatsApp, you cannot ping messages in WhatsApp. So that means that if persons are only joining a WhatsApp group, which cannot pin messages, it means that the important information will always be lost. People will always be asking questions that have already been answered a million times. So really, I focus on Telegram. Sometimes I will say something in WhatsApp groups, but my focus is on Telegram, and that's where I'm going to put information there, and Facebook. Persons can then share it to their groups if they want, but remember, the pin message is there for a reason, so that when a new person joins, instead of you having to repost the same thing with a whole bunch of information every single time someone is added, they just go to the pin message and it's there. All right? So if you've got your groups, still make sure that they're plugged into the main team group. All right? Epic live trading schedules. Guys, this is in your back office. I mean, this goes to folks saying, you should know what's happening. The company's official corporate calls and schedules are there. Every single day, for every single time, they don't change. Same times, same link, all the time. All right? We have our opportunity calls as well. All right, that's on that. We've got, like I said, we have our YouTube channel. You want marketing material, you want videos, you want stuff, you want trainings, you want the recordings that we've done. There's a reason why our team has a YouTube channel. Go there. The videos are there. The marketing videos are there. The trainings are there. Everything is there. Get plugged in. Again, sponsors, make sure that your teams know this. All right, and of course, the Facebook fan page is there for a reason. When we do our opportunity calls, we stream it live. So when we stream it live there, you can easily stream it from there and share it to your own pages or do a watch party. This is another way to expand your business and get exposure, all right? So all of these things are available to everyone, okay? Good. Now, before we move on, everybody type I'm plugged in. I'm plugged in. If you guys get that, let's move on to the next slide. Type I'm plugged in, all right? And make it so. Let's move on to our next slide. We're talking about leadership tools and what you need to have in place, all right? The most powerful leadership tool that you have is your own personal.
I don't know what's wrong.
Huh?
I don't know what's wrong.
It made you white, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Can everyone hear me? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, she can hear you clearly now.
Okay, good stuff. All right. My internet just dropped for a second. Let me make sure that we're still recording. Okay, good. So we're still recording. Awesome. All right. Back up. Okay, let's go. Just put this up right here. Give me 1 second.
Huh?
Oh, shoot. I don't want to
We
second.
want AM?
All right, so give me 1 second, guys. Let me
Yeah, man, I could do it.
get back to our slide. Where were we? Okay, we were here. Okay, good. Okay, good. Here we go. So as I was saying, guys, the most powerful leadership tool that you have is your own personal example. Now, one of the things that a lot of people fail to understand in the industry and in building a business such as this is that you can't just tell people what to do. You can't just be telling persons, hey, go up there and get 3 people, go there and get 10 people, go there. No. Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Like, it always amazes me how folks come into the opportunity and they're like, okay, so guys, this is what I want you to do. Go up there and get this amount of people, or go up there and do this, do that. And I'm like, but are you doing it? One of the crazier things is someone coming to me and asking, hey, Lavera, are you going to give me 3 people? Or can you give me 3 people? And my question always is, do you have 3 people to give to the 3 people I'm going to give to you? Just making sure. So if you're asking me for 3 people, which means that you're expecting me to go there and do the work for you. That's what you're. If you're asking me that, that's how I'm taking it. You're basically saying, hey, look, I just letting you know, I'm not really looking to do anything, right? I just want you to go there, find the people, ask the questions, do the follow-up, deal with the rebuttals, deal with the negativity, and convince these people to join. Oh, and when you get them to join, just give them to me. Just just go ahead and put them under me. I'm not going to pay you for it. I'm not going to give you any of the commission I'm going to get when these people sign up and build a business. I just want you to do the work for me. And then just please go ahead and give these people to me. That's what it sounds to me, right? When someone comes and the first thing they say is, are you going to give me 3 people? So I'm like, do you have referrals to help these 3 people? Are you going to do the same for these 3? Then all of a sudden everyone goes quiet. Guys, if you want to lead people, you have to lead by example. If you're looking for someone to give you 3, you get 3. Fine, I'll give you 3, but you're gonna find 3 for the next person for these 3 that you bring in as well. All right. You see, it's a real big responsibility when it comes to being a leader. Everyone wants to be a leader. Everyone may consider themselves a leader, but there's a lot of things that a lot of persons don't understand when it comes to being a quality leader. All right. 1, you have to set good examples for your team. You do that by doing the right thing. Recognize your team. Like, actually celebrate them. Recognize them. Celebrate persons who are doing a good job. Be an inspiration to your team. People will feed on your energy, on your positive vibes, on your positive energy. Nobody wants to follow someone who's just dead and boring and says nothing at all. So if you're bringing someone into the business, okay, If you bring someone into the business, and then after you bring them into the business, you have nothing to say, you're not active, you're not saying anything, you're not doing anything, I can assure you right now, no one is going to really want to work with you. All right? Be of integrity. Don't lie. Don't trick anyone. Don't do things that are unethical. All right? Always make sure that your integrity is above board, that no one can have anything negative to say about your style or your way of building and leading. Always. Okay, you know what? Let me turn this off. Okay, there we go. Right. So always make sure that that's the case. Stimulating work. Always be active, guys. Always be active. Like, if you're just there, like, what are you doing? Guys, you guys know me. You guys see me posting. For those of you who are connected to me, I'm always posting. I'm always doing something, always creating value, whether it's a video, whether it's a training, whether it's flyers, whether it's something. Why? Always be doing something to keep it active. Don't just join and expect the company to do the work for you. Don't just join and expect your upline to do stuff, create stuff. Don't just share other people's posts on Facebook. Create your own posts. Be unique for a change. I mean, you know, there's some folks that make some pretty awesome posts. Great. But get in the habit of stimulating your mind and do that, and then teach your team to do that. Focus on your team. Help your team. Work with your team. Don't make this about how many people you can refer yourself. I referred over 200 people myself. All right? I have less than 10 people that are directly referred. Don't make it about that. In your member account, there's a leaderboard, right? You guys have seen the leaderboard. There's a certain section there on the dashboard where they have like top sponsors or top enrollers for the month. I can tell you right now, you will probably never ever see my name on that. You will never see my name on that, ever. You know why you will never see my name on that? Because I'm not sponsoring people up to myself. If I sponsor 20 people today, all 20 of those people are going to someone else. I give them away. I don't sponsor them to myself. So you will probably never ever see Lavera Vent's name on that leaderboard. I don't need it to be, because there's no benefits for me having it there, one, and there's no reason for me to sponsor 20 or 30 people myself. All of those 200 and something people I've given away to other members in the team to help them. I don't need them. So you will never see my name on a leaderboard. I'm not interested in being on a leaderboard. My interest is making sure that everyone in the team, or as many people in the team, can make some money. That's what my focus is. I want to get as much people making money, all right? Have clear goals, and of course, be encouragement to your team. Encourage your team as well. People go through stuff, y'all. Like literally, people go through stuff, personal stuff. And I can tell you right now that sometimes my conversations with team members aren't about the business. They're about personal stuff. Like you're dealing with real people who deal with real issues. And a lot of folks, you may or may not be surprised, a lot of people on your team, they got a lot of personal shit going on. And sometimes they don't need a person to just tell them how to build a business or how to trade. Sometimes they just need someone that they can just talk to and just vent sometimes, you know what I mean? And you gotta understand, if you really want to be a leader, you've got to be flexible. You've got to be willing to adjust and understand it's not always about business. Sometimes the person just needs to talk about some shit that's going on, and they just need someone to listen, and you need to be that person. I give an example. About 2 weeks ago, I remember, we were just about getting ready to kick off, and and I was busy. I was crazy busy. My day was so mad. And one of our members, she had an issue, and we spent some time talking with her and just talking with her. And it was some emotional stuff. And we spent like probably 2 hours. I mean, if you saw, I was crazy busy. They had no time, not even 15 minutes. And like I just had like near 2 hours. It was just talking, just talking, because that is what the person needed at that point in time, just to be heard. And if you're going to be a leader, you got to understand that you got to go above and beyond, and it can't be just about how much people you can get to join or how much money you can make from trading. Like sometimes you just got to come back and say like you're dealing with actual human beings who just need to talk to someone sometimes. All right. So just remember that. If you guys agree with that, somebody type, just be human. Just be human. All right, that's all about being part of a leader, man. You just gotta be human sometimes when you're doing this because it's more than just business. All right, a little bit more about being a leader and adding value. You know, one of the main things about being a leader truly is adding value. All right, people follow people who have value. People want to be around people who have value. Nobody wants to be around a dud. Nobody wants to be around flick. Nobody wants to be associated with someone who doesn't create some kind of value for them. Like people who serve no purpose in your vision, in your goals, in your dreams. People who don't see it as you see it, who are just not on the same level as you are. You're a giraffe. You can't be hanging around with turtles. Like the level of vision of the turtle is only as high as it can hold its head. So you gotta have that giraffe type vision. You can't have turtle vision. You get what I'm saying? Your level of vision has to be higher than a turtle. A turtle can only see as far as its head can go, as high as its level of sight and vision allows it. So you can't expect that if you've got a giraffe mentality, there's no way that you can be taking advice and hanging around with people who have turtle vision. Everybody understands that? If that makes sense, guys, drop a 111 in the chat real quick. But you've got to have giraffe vision, not turtle vision, all right? And if you hang around with turtles when you're a giraffe, you're never ever going to get far at all right? So you got to be willing to add value. You got to be willing to serve others, guys. Being a leader, it really is about serving. This is something that a lot of people have a problem with. Something a lot of people, especially those who have big egos, they just don't get it. You have to be a servant leader, all right? Let me repeat that again for those of you taking notes. You have to be a servant leader. Somebody type that in chat. Servant leader. That is the kind of leader that you have to be. Not the type that just up there sitting on a pedestal or a throne. Yes, people respect you. Yes, they see you up there because of the value you bring. But that's not what this is about. This is more about you. For those of you who are spiritual or who are Christians, Jesus was the kind of person in the Bible that was described as a servant leader. Jesus washed his disciples' feet. Like, that is what I'm talking about. He didn't just say, hey, shoot, you got to wash my feet. Jesus washed the feet of the disciples. So why did he do that? Because he's a servant leader. If you can show people that it's not about you, you're not tuning into that station, WIIFM, what's in it for me, people can see that you're genuinely, so you can say it, but the question is, do you show it, right? Words are easy, talk is cheap, right? But do you show it? If you can genuinely show people that you're really in their best efforts, you're trying to work with them and help them, people appreciate that and they appreciate you more. And not only that, here's the important point. Even if they're not making the kind of money they want to make yet, or they're not at the level of success that they expect as yet, they will still want to work with you simply because they know the quality of your character. And they will want to work with someone like you, all right? So always seek to add value, guys. Always look for ways that you can create value for your team, all right? 7 ways to add value is you can lead with power, you can connect with emotion, and this is where your passion comes out. This is why they say if you pursue your passion, all right, you have something that you love, you're passionate about, you pursue your passion, and you connect with emotion. You communicate with care, okay? So you communicate with care. It has to be in a way that when people listen to you, they see you, they work with you, they feel like they're part of something that is more than just business. Like, yeah, I'm part of a family. Like, this is a group of people, or this is a person that I can feel comfortable working with and opening up to, all right? You set the standard of prestige. Now, when you set your standard, all right, you guys would have heard me mention the word posture, all right? The way that you conduct yourself, the way that you speak. Give you a perfect example. As we're in, most of us, all of us are in Epic, and we're building, you're going to see folks online throwing shade. You're going to see folks being negative. You're going to see folks trying to say, oh, this is better than that, and, don't do this and clown this and that. You're going to get all of that, right? It's not what people say is that really defines, you. It's really how you react to it, right? It's not their attitude to you that is the real importance. Is your attitude to what they're saying. So you got to rise above that. You got to have a certain level of posture. Let people be on that level. Let people be on that level. You don't have to respond to everything that you see. Let people talk, man. People are gonna talk either way. Let people talk. Listen, you think that people don't talk about me? There are people out there that just don't like me. Just because of the way that I build. There are people out there that it's crazy. There are people there that just don't like me, that envy me, right? Why? Some cases I really don't know. Other cases is because I'm the kind of person I get into anything and I work. I build. And I do help. Anyone that really knows me knows I go out of my way to help as whoever I can help. I work with my team all the way. There are persons out there that I've heard say that I don't care about anyone but myself. Believe it or not. People say that I don't care about anyone but himself. As much as I do, every single day go out. Yo, you guys don't even know. All right? Some people will talk either way. You can't be worried about that. People have been talking about people from the beginning of the time. It's how you react and respond, all right? Their opinions of me has little influence of me because the lion does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep. Just don't, all right? That's it. So here's the thing, guys. Set the standard. Have a certain level of posture in how you professionally do your business. Let people see that you're a professional at what you do. That's right. Dogs don't bark at parked cars. I like that, Yolanda. All right. Protect your details as well. All right. Don't drop everything everywhere. Like, keep something valuable. The reason that if some information is valuable is because a lot of people don't know it. How do you create value? Value is created in something being unique. It's something being scarce. It's like Bitcoin. All right. The more Bitcoin is mined, the more valuable it becomes. All right. The more valuable it becomes. So when something is scarce, when something is sacred, when something is not given or open to everyone, its value increases. And this is why we operate as a team, and we keep our house, we protect our house, and we protect our information and our details. Bring creativity. All right. Dare to do things differently, guys. Rebel. Don't follow the status quo. Don't do everything that everyone else is doing. Give you an example. Facebook post. Join my team and make $500 per month. Like, okay, so right, nobody's posting that same exact thing, right? Right? Like, be different. Be different. All right? Don't just do the exact same thing that everyone is doing. Change it up every now and then. All right? And finally, trust. You build loyalty through trust. If no one trusts you, no one will want to work with you. All right, guys? Now, let's move on real quick. I don't want to, okay, it's just about 1 hour. We're not going to. Most is an hour and a half, but probably not even that long, okay? Let's keep going. Now, in terms of presentation, here's one of the things that I wanna put this out there before I forget. If there's anyone in the team that has an interest in learning how to present, how to give presentations, if you want to do Zoom calls, Zoom trainings, if you're able to speak, if you've got a background in that, if you have done it before, if you're comfortable to do it, if you want to learn to do it, please reach out to me and let me know. I'm looking to start doing some training on presentation as well. How to present effectively, how to present with power, how to present, okay, I see Jody says she does, fantastic. So, we can always link on that. You guys just can message me, but this is what we want to do. And the reason that we're doing this, guys, is because we don't want a team of just followers. And I definitely don't want a situation where I am the only person that is doing everything. I love doing it. I give you that. I do it. I love doing it. I've been doing it for a long time. And I'm used to doing it myself. But if it's one thing that as a leader you must understand and accept, acknowledge, and respect. And that is know your weaknesses, know your strengths, but also know how to delegate. All right? And in delegating, that doesn't mean to sound like, giving orders. I'm just saying, let's start to switch it up so that instead of hearing myself every single time we do a webinar, we're hearing a different person who will have their own style, their own flavor, their own sauce, their own way of doing it, their own way of saying it. That person may be able to, or a guest or prospect may be able to relate to something that other presenter says more than they can relate to what I say. My story might impact some people. Another person may come on, they may give their story and it impacts someone else in a totally different way. They've got their own style, yes? So moving forward, guys, this is something I'm very serious about it. So those persons that are serious, just make sure you drop me a private message in Telegram. And, we're gonna look to do some training on some presentation skills and how to present with power, how to present in a way that you keep your audience engaged, and all the stuff that goes with it. Have you guys ever noticed that the person who is in front of the audience usually has the biggest team or build the biggest teams? Why is that? Value. Value. Not because the person on the stage or the person who's speaking started first. Some people think that. They think, oh man, you were in first, so that is why. No, it's not. It's because you do the most. It's because you bring the most value. It's because that you're putting the most value, you're assisting the most people. That is the reason why in most cases, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've seen it over and over and over. Being in a business first does not mean you will make the most money. I can promise you that right now. Being in a business first does not mean you will make the most money. In my previous business, I wasn't in first. I made money more money than persons that were in before me. There were persons that joined my team after me, and they made a lot more money than I did. All right? So it's not about who's in first. It's about the value that you bring, the value that you create, how you do what you do to attract those persons to you. You will attract persons to you. On Telegram, it's Coach Veer, at Coach_Veer, I think it is. My moderator, I have someone put that in chat. You guys who are connected to me, can you put my Telegram name in the chat form for Christine? Yeah, for Christine. Someone put my Telegram name in the chat because it used to be Ghost of Facts. I changed it recently. I think it's Coach_Veer or something like that. So somebody put that in chat for Christine, all right? So again, guys, it's about value and creating value. Like you said, Olivia, the race is not for the swift. Generally, it's for those who endure to the end, for those who stay the longest. It's not always about speed. Yes, success loves speed, but you have to understand that it's good to have speed. You start off fast, but it's not about what you get. It's about what you get to keep. All right? It's about being able to maintain your business as well. Let's move on to duplication, all right? Now, duplication basically is a principle that speaks about creating success for your business, that speaks about, for your business and your team by imparting them with the same action plan for success that you have followed. Guys, let me tell you this. Thank you so much, guys. Fantastic. So you got to understand this. If you want to grow a business successfully, you have to duplicate, period. All right, period. You have to duplicate. If there is no duplication in your team, it will not grow. Let me tell you this. This is one of the reasons why I am moving from me doing everything in terms of, the calls and the opportunity calls and so on. This is why I'm looking to teach persons now and train persons how to present. All right, because for me and for the team, to move to the next level, it has to be a situation where I'm able to remove myself from just that, from all of that responsibility, just doing that, and allow other persons to be able to take the lead so I can focus on other members, primarily new members coming in. Because the time that I'm spending working with members who've already been in the business now for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? I could be spending with new members and working with them, helping them, doing a lot more things, all right? Even in the aspect of trading and additional trading sessions and trade training, all right? We have a group that we created where I was doing live trading, trade training and that kind of stuff as well. There's so much more I can do, but right now, because there's so much that I'm already doing, I don't have much time to do much else, all right? Thank goodness that we have so much information and offered to us. And let me say this before I forget. I was to say this on the previous slide. What is the role of a sponsor? All right, is the role of the sponsor to sign you up and then teach you everything? No, it is not. The role as a sponsor is literally to just, after they've given you the opportunity, to guide you and direct you to the information. Now, their role as well is to support you. Their role is not to specifically teach you how to trade, how to build. It is not. It is not. Remember that each person here has joined the business like anyone else. Me, I'm just a normal member, I'm not corporate, right? I'm not corporate. I am just a member who joined and paid their $20 like anyone else. The difference is I took it upon myself to take my personal time to devote to making sure other persons have a chance at succeeding because I have a certain skill set that I practiced over the last couple of years. It is not my responsibility to train you how to build a business or to train you how to trade. How to trade, you're paying for that. All right, let's just make this real clear. You are paying for a service. That service is there to teach you how to trade. If you have questions about trading and what to do and what not to do and what you should and shouldn't do, and that is what you are paying for. You don't pay me. I am doing this of my own free will just to assist. So no one should expect that their sponsor or their upline is supposed to be focusing on trading, on teaching them how to trade. Each person is responsible for their own results. Does everybody understand this? Each person is responsible for their own results. You are paying for a service. You're not paying your sponsor, you're not paying your upline. If your sponsor chooses to focus on just recruiting or focus on building a team, that's their personal choice. You can't get mad at them for not teaching you to trade. That is not what, you're not paying them. You are paying the company for that. If your sponsor upline wishes or chooses to assist you in doing so, so be it. Even better. But please, everyone, please understand this. You cannot blame your sponsor. You cannot blame your upline. You cannot blame the team. Everyone is responsible for their own results. That is what you've paid your money for. Okay? Just so that everyone is clear about that. If a person, like, hey, I'll be upfront. I'm straightforward up front. I trade. I've taught people to trade for a long time. I like trading. But I get more fun, I get more excitement, I get more adrenaline by helping people hit their goals and hit their targets and build teams. That is what I'm a professional at that. I'm pretty good at trading too, all right? But I love building teams. That's what I love doing. So that's where I more so focus on. But it doesn't mean I can't trade or teach you to trade. But what I'm saying is, you can't get mad at me if I don't teach you to trade, because you are paying the company for that service, all right? And that is something that I know a lot of people, something they don't want to say that up front. They kind of dance around it. Well, I just said it for you. If your people are on the call, I just said it for you up front, all right? You're paying Epic for a service. That is where you learn to do X, Y, and Z. But you can ask for assistance just to help you streamline some things, all right? Good. That being said, we were talking about duplication, guys, and the importance of it. If you are not duplicating, you are not growing. All right? If you are not duplicating, you are not growing. You will find yourself in a situation where you are doing everything yourself, all right? And you are not growing. I am fortunate I have leaders in different legs that are doing their business, they're working it, they're working with their people, they know how to lead. Great. For each person that's on this call, you need to understand that you have to, at some point in time, identify who the leaders are within your team, and those are the persons you need to spend majority of your time working with and train and teach them how to duplicate. They in turn now will go and they will do the same with their teams. All right? This is not a one-man show. This is not like the old westerns where the lone gunman walks into town and he just shoots and kills everybody. No. This is a teamwork kind of thing. You teach, you train leaders. Your goal, listen carefully, your goal, if you're taking notes, your goal as a leader is to train and develop other leaders. All right? Everybody has that? Your goal as a leader is to train and develop other leaders. When you do that, that is where your business explodes. If everybody understands it so far, if you guys are enjoying the training so far, drop a 111 in the chat. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost at the end. All right? Drop a 111 real quick. If you're enjoying the information so far, if you think it's quality stuff, if you think it's good value, yeah? So let's talk about how to invite prospects to your MLM business, okay? We're going to go through this pretty quickly. Like I said, I don't want to go past 7:30 at all. All right? So how to invite prospects to your business. A lot of people have problems with invitation. What to say, what not to say. Here's the first thing I will say. Write this down, everyone. Write this down. The less you talk, the more you make. All right? Everybody write that down. The less you talk, the more you make. The problem that a lot of people make, especially new networkers, they talk too much. You get involved in a business, you're excited about the business, your first instinct is, oh my God, this is so amazing. Let me go and talk to everyone. You run up there, hey, you start spitting information like it was yesterday. All right, like bullets. Big mistake. Here's why. Let me give you a couple reasons why talking too much is bad. Now, when I say talking too much, I don't mean exposing the exposing the information to multiple people. I mean, no, I'm fine. I mean, you are trying to give too much information to newbies, to persons who want info. You may think that I do a lot of talking for this business every day to each individual I meet. I don't. The most talking that I do is when I'm actually on a webinar or a training. Anytime a person asks me for information, all that I do is I direct them to a video or I direct them to a call that may be coming up. That's it. You may think, oh man, Laverne must be talking to a ton of people every day. You couldn't be more wrong. I don't do it. As a matter of fact, if you're gonna call me for a three-way call, the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, have they already watched the 15-minute video? If they haven't, don't call me for that three-way yet. Do that first, then you can connect with me. Because all I'm looking to do is answer questions and close. I'm not looking to do a presentation on the phone. So, the less you talk, the more you make. Let's look at a couple examples of what you could do, all right? One, you want your invitation to be short. You want it to be exciting. You want it to say it in a way that creates curiosity, but you want to sound convicted as well, right? So as you speak, and this also goes back to posture, as you speak, you're inviting someone to the opportunity. You want to say it with a matter of conviction in your voice. This is why I prefer talking versus typing, because people can't really get your energy if you're just typing everything in a chat. Like, everybody wants to just send a message. Nobody wants to pick up the phone and actually call. This is why you've got people who may get big results and people who get very little results. The people who get big results are the people who generally are willing to pick the phone up and make the damn call. Actually let the person hear your voice. If you're scared of doing that, so every person you've invited so far has been a text message, a Facebook message, a WhatsApp message, some kind of message. But you never want to actually pick the phone up and actually make a call. I can tell you right now, you will always see other people getting huge results, and you wonder how it is that they're doing it, because they are connecting to people. I told you guys, man, network marketing is a relationship-built business. It's based on emotion. Therefore, you have to connect to people on an emotional level. All right? You have to connect to people on an emotional level, because this is 90% emotion, 10% logistics. Write that down. This is 90% emotion, 10% logistics. It's an emotional connection. People connect with people on an emotional level. Therefore, if you want to attract more people, you have to connect with more people. And you can't connect with people if you're just sending empty messages. There's no energy, there's no vibe, there's no emotion, there's nothing. All right? So this is one thing you can change to start to attract more people. All right? Actually pick the phone up. All right? Be excited, be curious, or create curiosity, sorry. All right? And then, of course, you must sound convicted. Hey, listen, there's something that I just got started in. I don't have much time. And by the way, there's another thing I should have added. Also, be busy. Like, you need to be always busy. Successful people are busy people. Hey, look, there's something that I just got started in. I'm really excited about it. Don't have much time to tell you about it, but listen, you got about 10, 15 minutes to watch a video that explains what it's all about. That's it. Dan, how much was that? 5 seconds? Hey, listen, I just launched a new business. I really want to tell you about it, but I don't have much time right now. Question, you got about 15 minutes to watch it right now, watch something that could explain it? Do you? Excitement, creating curiosity, conviction, all in one. 5 seconds, all right? Form follower, number 2. What is form? Write this down. Form stands for family, occupation, recreation, money. Write that down, everyone. The form follower, the form formula. Family, occupation, recreation, money. How does that work? This is a conversation starter. All right, very quickly I'll go through it. How does form work? Form, so family, you connect with someone, you ask, so how's your family doing? You know, how things with your family? Family's good. You're just having a conversation. Okay, good. So how things at work? You still working at that? You still working at that place, or you left there now? Oh, okay. So you have enough time to really do the things you really want to do. Like when last you took a vacation, man, you have enough chance to take vacation, or you and the family, you guys getting to spend a lot of time. You know, conversation, and then final one is money. So let me ask a question. So if I could show you a way to make some extra money that you can have more time to spend with your family and potentially even get out of the job or get out of that situation, would you be interested in hearing about it? What did I just do? I just let that person sell themselves. When they told me about their family, when they told me about their occupation and all the things that they like or don't, well, for the most part, the things they don't like about it, all the things that could be better, because that's how it's going to go. The recreation, you ask someone if they have enough time to do the things they want to do. Most cases, they don't. So they're talking about their family. They tell you about their job and how it could be better and how they really wish were making some more money. They're talking about recreational time that they do not have, so they can't spend the time with their family that they wish they could. Then they talk about the money that they wish was more. Then you say, well, if I could, how me just play it right back in reverse, like hit and rewind. So if I can show how to make some extra money that can help you get more time to spend with yourself and your family, probably even get out of the job and spend more time with your fam, would you be interested in hearing about it? All I just did was just repeat exactly what they told me in reverse form. They already sold themselves to me. And by doing it this way, I know all the things that they have an emotional connection to. All right? I now know all the things that they have an emotional connection to, which is family, occupation, and recreation, and money. I literally just let them sell themselves. All right? Now, if you're going to set an appointment, give them two choices. Don't allow a person to control the conversation. Would you be able, okay, you can't watch the video now? Okay, I understand, you're busy. Would you be able to watch it at such and such time or such and such time? When should I get back to you? Such and such time or such and such time? You provide the options. You control the conversation. All right? Now, if you need to get assistance from sorry about that, guys. If you need to get assistance from your upline or your sponsor, do that. All right? Let them assist you in the business. Social media, if you want to do 3 ways, for example, use WhatsApp. WhatsApp allows you to do 3-way calls. You can do that as well, okay? So whatever you need to work with, you can use those tools and use these options here. I hope that this helps. Another way you can do it, reverse psychology, is basically say, look, hey, what's happening? I've been very focused on productive my home-based business. I don't know if this is good, if this is a good fit for you, but do you know anyone that wants to make some extra money from home? So it's like you're kind of totally bypassing them and say, do you know anyone that's looking to make some extra money? Now, in their mind, they're like, shoot, well, I would like to make some extra money, right? But that is a form of marketing as well. They might say, well, yeah, well, I looking to make some money myself. Well, what about me? Well, yeah, what I got to do? How does it work? That's fine. All that you're looking to do, guys, is get that individual to ask you for information. That is your door to providing that information, but you want them to ask you for it, okay? Very quickly as well, 3 other steps. 1, curiosity, all right? Create curiosity, make them want to ask you for more information, all right? Commitment, once you get them curious about the appointment, it could be a one-on-one presentation, it could be a webinar you're going to direct them or send them to, it could be a follow-up meeting, a 3-way call, doesn't matter. Get a commitment from them, all right? And thirdly, control. The third one, the most crucial, you have to control yourself from responding to any concerns. When a person says, so tell me a little bit about it. What is this really about? Don't do it. It's a trap. Don't do it. Don't answer nothing. Remember, you busy. You can't discuss it right now. You got to go. You just giving them enough that they're going to ask you for information. You're going to provide that information or book an appointment of when you can get back to them. And at that point, that is when you send the info. But don't start to answer 1 question because then they can ask you 2, which will lead on to 3 and 4 questions. And before you know it, you're there trying to do a whole presentation on the spot with a newbie, no visuals, nothing, and you just defeated the whole purpose. Don't do it. Remain a professional at all times, okay? If you want some scripts, there are a couple of scripts I have added to the Facebook group. They are already there. If you haven't seen them, it means you've not been paying attention. If you know that's you, well, I'm talking to you. All right? They've been there since September 3rd. Today is the, I don't know, the what? The 13th? Okay, today's the 13th. They've been there since the 3rd. So if you don't know they're there, you have not been paying attention to your business. Another thing I will say, there are a lot of folks right now trying to get access to the Facebook group. If you're not an active member, if you've not answered the questions, which means you've not submitted your name and your member ID, you're not going to be admitted. So you're just right there for a long time wondering why you've not been approved. It's because you haven't answered any of the questions. If you guys have members that have been trying to access the group, that they're not in the group, it is because that they're not coming up in the system. And it could be because they're still in your holding tank. Please take the people out the holding tank. If they're in the holding tank, I can't see them when I do a search. So it will appear like they're not in the business. So then I'm not going to add them to the Facebook group, okay? As we close off, the last thing we're going to say here is the fortune is in the follow-up, guys. Make sure that if you connect with persons that you follow up with them. If you don't follow up with people, someone else is going to come along and talk to your prospect and probably sign them up, okay? So you need to make sure that you follow up with individuals, okay? As it says, the follow-up call is the magic trick that turns business cards into money. Make sure that you do your three-way calls. Three-ways are very, very important because what it does, it creates that level of trust between your prospect and the person that you've edified. All right. Make sure you edify the upline that you're going to bring onto that call first. Hi, this is Lavere. I'm going to put you in touch with my business partner, Lavere Way. He's in a business. He's been doing it for a while. He's more successful than I am. He's been more knowledgeable, than I am, and he can answer all of your questions. When you bring that prospect onto the call, do not jump in. Don't say anything. You bring them on. Hi, John. This is Lavere. John just watched the video. He's interested, but he's got some questions. John, Lavere, this is John. John, this is Lavere. You do the introduction, and then you stop talking. One thing that I hate, one thing I can't stand is a person introducing me to their prospect after edifying me, and then they can't stop talking. They're jumping in. They're trying to say what they think I've forgotten. I hate that. Don't do that. If you're gonna edify your upline, bring them on a call. After you've introduced them, stop talking. Don't say anything. Let the upline take over the call, answer the questions, and close your prospect for you. All right? You want to get more results? Have more three-ways. I can promise you this right now. If you are not doing three-ways, your team is probably not growing that fast. I can tell you that right now. If you're wondering, why am I not getting anyone to sign up? How many three-ways have you done so far? None? Well, there's your answer why you've not been growing, all right? I'm just going to leave this here, guys. There's just some links that I put for Facebook marketing tips and tricks and strategies. This is a training all in itself, so we don't have the time to go into Facebook marketing training. But these two links here, you can check them out. I'll probably post them in the groups as well for you. But if you're taking notes, you can probably take them off right now and just write them down. Yeah, but guys, that's pretty much it for our training. Let me see, member concerns, more details on getting into the Forex step-by-step guide. Again, guys, if you have people who are focused on the Forex specifically, make sure that they're linked into everything Forex related that the company is offering, all right? There's the Epic News Network, there's the Trade Signals Room, there's the Study Hall, there's a schedule that was put out today again for the rest of the week. Go there and look at that. It's there, all right? Everything Forex related is discussed there. Why do so many? Oh, a question was asked. Why do so many persons focus on the MLM side of the business? Well, because it's more fun. But at the same time, you got to understand that for most people, you have to remember the Forex side is a skill set. All right. Here's why. Here's why people focus a lot on the network side and not the Forex side as much as you would like them to. Keeping it real. The network side, all it requires is the person to know some folk and share some information. The forex side requires that you have to take time, you have to have patience, you have to learn the skill set, you have to go through that process of education. So for a lot of people, it's a lot more that they have to go through and focus on. Whereas the network side, a person might just say, I know 3 people who are interested in making some money, boom, they join, they fit a rank. Or I know 10 people that want to make some money, they do that, they make some money, now they're at $500 a month. So one is not better than the other because both of them you can make tremendous amounts of money. But it's just that people have options, and we all have to respect that people will do what they're comfortable with. Don't get mad at anyone for focusing on any one thing over the other thing. That's their personal choice. That's what they're comfortable with. Let people do what they're comfortable with. And if they're comfortable with that, the guy who's doing Forex and is making $5,000 a month or $5,000 a week, he can go there and he can share with persons, look, this is what my Forex education is allowing me to do. I'm generating $5,000 a week. All right. Another person might be good at talking, good at sharing, good at building. They want to do that. Or it's easier for them to do that to make some money to trade with even. They may do that. And they may be able to go there and say, look, I shared with a couple of people and I'm making a 500 a week or 5,000 a week based on what right they hit. But so let's not say as a, this is better than that. You should be doing this or you should be doing that. Both of them are skill sets. You have a skill set of learning Forex trading. You have a skill set of network marketing. Both are skill sets, both are very profitable, and both are options that everyone has access to as well, all right? So guys, that's pretty much our training for this evening. Like I said, I didn't want to go too long, so we did about an hour and a half, not too bad. All right, I want to thank everyone for coming on to the training and for those who stayed to the end. If you guys enjoyed the training, real quick, just drop a 111 in the chat. Let me know that you enjoyed it, if you think that everything was good value. And again, every Sunday we're going to do some training. We're going to flip it up, switch it up a bit, do some different things. Every Sunday we're going to do some training, so you can look forward to that as well. But if you guys enjoyed it, I'm glad to hear. Let me check the chat real quick. Oh, wow. Fantastic. I appreciate that, guys. Like, again, my thing is just to try to bring as much value to you as well. Now, that being said, again, we've got our session at 8:30 p.m. tonight. So for those of you who may have guests, thanks, Kesria. For those of you who have guests, who have persons that you would like to hear the opportunity, feel free to bring them on to my call at 8:30 p.m. You know that I do this call almost every night. I do it each day. I create the flyer for each day because I don't want to say about every day of every week because things might come up, then I got to change it. So again, for all who came on, glad that you liked the information, glad that you appreciated it. Let me go ahead and stop the recording at this point.